This is what people love to see, is the behind the scenes.
That's right. Well, we're just going to go right into it. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Isaac Guy Show. I am Isaac Guy, and we're back here, and we're being, thank you. I want to give a shout out. Before I even start, I want to shout out the Miss Alanette and the Allen Network. All Things 805, what she's doing. What are you shaking your head behind the camera? That's what it is. It's the Allen Network. I said it right. It's correct. Your name is Miss Alanette. Thank you so much. And we're here in the studio. We Isaac'd out a little bit into the bling bling in the background, but we're back. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're here with the special guest. I'm just going to call you Rockstar, and then we just talked about it earlier. Thanks for coming on the show, dude.
Of course,
appreciate
man.
it.
Appreciate you having me. I love any opportunity to talk.
Yeah,
you know me.
Well, you know who does also love talking to you is everyone at the gym.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit, but I mean, I appreciate you coming on. You're the first guest, and then
well, that's an honor. Then I get to be the first.
Well, you're the first, and I'm hoping you'll come back and we'll talk some more stuff.
Depends on how it goes.
Well, there you go. So tell me, like, here you are. This is you, right?
Yeah.
I know different layers of you because this is the rock star you.
Yeah.
Tell me all this. What's going on?
All this.
Tell me all this. This is an experience.
Like how I look, or like how I
everything.
You know, here's the thing. Because like a lot of people have been calling me Rockstar, especially as of lately, because we do a bunch of events. We pop up at different things where I sell my peanut butter spreads called Rockstar in a Jar. But the way we do it,
it's delicious, by the way.
It's a Rockstar VIP experience. I'm gonna put a tattoo on you. I'll spoon feed you. Maybe some more wild stuff will happen. I don't want to say what could happen. Just got to go look on social media. Some of you guys have already seen all the craziness that happens at our events. And, you know, we just like to have a good time. I like people to feel like a real VIP. It's almost like they get on stage, because I call the setup we have a stage.
Sure.
Because we got all the lights and the smoke, and you're up close and personal having a good time.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole, like, rock star idea came from. Plus, ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a rock star. I was in different bands. I'm a guitar player. Coming up, I always wanted to be a rock star. And now I finally found out a way to do it with peanut butter, out of all things.
Now, that's a great segue into, because I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. Why the peanut butter? Like, you've been doing it for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 5 years.
Yeah. And so now, are you seeing it starting out to take off a little bit in the latter years? Because I know a lot of people have been talking about it. We know a lot of mutual friends, which I didn't know that until I started going to the gym a lot. And that's where I first saw you.
Yeah.
And I think I first saw you at 24 because you were just doing yoga.
Yeah.
And it's funny, before we get into the peanut butter stuff, it was funny because we have I had to do another podcast with Tim Amoroso on the Real Addicted Show, which we want to get you on, by the way, on top of that too. So that'll be another cool experience.
We'll do it.
We were like, yeah, man, have you seen this guy at the gym? And they're like, are you talking about the guy that just does handstands? I go, yeah. He's at the gym. I was like, yeah, that guy's just he's just not even working, he's just doing yoga. And I was like, yeah, he's just doing yoga.
You know what? It's what people don't realize, yoga, it's like, just like when I first got into yoga, my sister's the one that got me into just doing yoga in general. And I was like, you know what? Just like most people think, boring, you're laying around, you're not getting a good workout. That's what you're going to think. You know what I mean? It's people think of it like yoga is like more like relaxation and meditation. It turns out, you know, through more education, as I started doing it more and more, that there's lots of different kinds of yoga.
Sure.
So the way that I like to practice, it's kind of like a combination. I've been calling it Yim Fit, yoga inspired movement.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because it's not really like traditional yoga. As you know, you've seen me do my workouts.
Yeah. It's
kind of like a mixture. I tell people this. It's like a mixture of like yoga, calisthenics, and gymnastics. Like those kind of movements on a mat. That's kind of how I practice. And then I'm really into doing like hand balancing. Like you said, you always see me doing handstands. So I like just to practice like handstands.
You're getting it, dude. Like
I've been getting it. Yeah.
You. It's no joke. Like if you guys ever see him, it's almost hypnotizing to see you do your thing.
I'm like a circus athlete, kind of.
And you throw the juggling.
Yeah, juggling.
And then you throw juggling. And it's funny because I was talking to one of my buddies, and I'm not trying to embarrass you or throw anything.
It's all good.
You get the girls, they attract to you like a moth and flame. There's like and then you stretching, and then they're stretching right next to you.
Yeah, you know what? For all I know, they're just trying to stretch and get ready for their workout.
Of course they are.
I'm here just minding my own business, trying to do my
You and your short shorts.
Yeah, well, you know, long pants can be restrictive to your movement.
He does. You haven't seen. I'll show you after the thing.
You haven't seen me in action. You've only seen me all dressed up like this.
It's hoochie short season.
Yeah, well, it's hoochie.
Hey.
In California, it's all year round that way.
It is. Well, see, like someone like me makes no sense because I'm wearing like short shorts. I'm wearing a fur coat.
Yeah. But see, no, but
For real.
that's the thing though. We talked about it earlier. You know, the reason why I took a while for me to talk to you. Two things. One, because I felt like you always get bugged at the gym.
Yeah, I don't consider it being bugged.
Well, no,
Yeah.
you don't. But like I see that from the outside perspective, people just come up to you and talk to you.
Yeah.
And you're trying to work out, and they spend like $5 or $6, and we talked about why you do that.
Yeah.
And two, you're in there with this big. You kill the grizzly bear. You have this Jon Snow fucking like coat on.
Yeah.
And then you strip it out, and now you're in your booty shorts or whatever, and you're doing these gymnastics, and you're the booty. What is it? Hoochie shorts. There you go. With the other hoochies that are around. No, and you just go there, and it's almost like an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the kind of stuff you see me do. It's the kind of stuff people will go pay at an event to go like
yeah.
a circus. You know what I mean? Because I train like a circus athlete. If you're curious, you can see some of the stuff on Instagram. But it's a lot of like that crazy like Cirque du Soleil kind of stuff that you'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's fun. I got into it. I saw a couple of those shows back in the day. And I was like, wow, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I never thought I'd be doing it, though. You know what I mean? Because that was before I was really into doing yoga and all that kind of stuff. But over time, I started going to yoga. Like I said, I went to like a real yoga studio. Like when I got into
Like there was a yogi there?
Well, like when I first got into yoga, I was doing it over at 24 Hour Fitness with my sister like once a week. And, it wasn't like anything too intense. To me, it was hard, though, because I had like zero mobility. I used to train like a bodybuilder. I was a lot more bulky, and I was into that kind of thing.
Did you model?
I'm technically an Rockstar model.
Okay, well, no, I did see the promotion for the Oxnard, but before that, because I know I was looking through some of your social, and then like you just like cut, like,
Yeah,
and
I mean, I've done some modeling.
there were some like was it Calvin Klein kind of poses where you're just like black and white, and you're just like, and then you had different hairstyle. It was a whole thing.
I've I've been a model for like artists that painted me. I've done a bunch of different
Like your French girls.
You know what? I got solicited on Instagram by an artist, and she sent me this really long, nice message how she would love to paint me.
Oh, I thought this was going into the OnlyFans. I thought that was.
Well, I mean, I do. If you want to subscribe, $49.99.
Okay, I'm sorry, we're going all over the place. I know I'll backtrack. We'll get back to your spreads. Speaking of that, how did that happen?
The OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Here's how
I mean, good for you because it's mostly dominated by women.
exactly. But here's the thing.
Breaking the mold too.
Breaking the mold. Look,
Yes.
like guys will be like taking off their shirt for free.
Sure.
What I notice with women is they don't take everything off for free.
It's very true.
They'll show you some revealing stuff, and then for a small fee,
Yes.
$5.99, $10.99, $29, whatever it is, you might be able to see some goods.
You might.
And you don't even know what you're gonna get. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. So the same thing with me. It's a mystery. What could be on the other end of that OnlyFans?
I'm gonna keep it a mystery for me, unfortunately. But if anybody else is interested,
I'm not offended if you're not going to subscribe to my OnlyFans.
no, I'm
but
cool
it's
with
okay.
the hoochie shorts at the gym. I'm good with that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So if that sparks your curiosity and you want to possibly see more of something,
we'll plug everything that you
Yeah.
have on at the end of the show.
Right.
Or maybe I could put my editor, who's gonna be me. We'll put the link right here. So okay, let's go back to the spread, the peanut butter.
Yeah.
How did that how did you even get into that?
it?
Yeah.
So before I was doing the peanut butter thing, I used to be a corrections officer for the sheriff's department here,
No shit.
working in the jail. Miserable. Poor me, miserable as hell.
At the county?
At the county, I'm like doing fucking hard time in county. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like literally in a jail. I signed up for this.
Sure.
And like when you're coming up and you're getting into like your early mid 20s, you have to start, or people go like, hey, what are you doing with your life? I want to be a rock star. Remember that. I want to be a rock star, but what are you doing with your life? So at a certain point, I'm like, well, damn, I guess I got to do like grown up shit. So county, because you always think about good job, benefits. This is what people tell you to give you advice because they don't want to see you suffer. So I'm like, okay, I applied to a bunch of jobs for the county and I got multiple interviews. And you know what I did? I just took the one that paid the most.
Mm.
That's what it is. Just like most people, because I didn't really have a plan.
Yeah.
I was just trying to survive.
Mm.
So I just started doing it. I was working in the jail, and literally I was miserable. So fucking miserable. And I would always think to myself, what could I do? But everything I already done in the past, I hated.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure we can all relate to that. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
we've been trying to figure out what we want to do because we got to eat and survive.
Pay
and
bills.
You pay bills, pay rent, all this kind of stuff. And you're like, what am I going to do? I'm not good at anything, you know, because I already did everything that I thought I could do. So at a certain point, I just said, fuck it. I'm making this peanut butter. Maybe I can sell it on the internet. That was my thought. Other people are doing it. So I just started doing it. I started.
So just one day you wake up and say, I'm just going to make peanut butter?
Yeah. So, you know, for someone like me, I picked literally like the hardest thing to start because like I didn't realize
How hard it takes to make peanut butter.
at the time. I didn't realize that at the time how much goes into like doing it legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everything's got to be certified and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's a big capital expense, a big mental expense. But I just said, fuck it. I was all in on doing something that wasn't the jail. So I took all the money that I saved up working in the jail because I was, you know, saving my money. And I just invested it into starting my own business.
Mm.
And of course, when you learn as you go, because I didn't know everything, I didn't really have a lot of guidance.
Yeah.
I was, you know, just doing a lot of research online and just trying to figure it out. When you start up something, it always costs way more than you thought it would.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
Because there's like different kind of things you didn't even know you needed until you started trying to get permits for stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. So like everything really started adding up, and you know, delay after delay. And I just said, you know, I just was all in. So that was about 5 years ago. And over the course of the 5 years, like, you know, I've been still making the same product. You know, I've tweaked it here and there to try to improve it over time. So it's slightly different, but it's mostly the same thing. But the 5 years that I really spent a lot of time like building up myself and then figuring out how I'm going to market my product. So when you start off and you're doing it, you think you know everything. A lot of people do. You know, you think you like, okay, I'm going to figure it out. And because like I didn't go to school for this, but I was doing some stuff and it wasn't working out the way I thought it should. So that's when I really started getting into reading. You know, all the knowledge that you need is in books. You just have to seek out that knowledge. So over the last couple of years, I've been reading a ton of books. Like every day I read. Don't skip brain day. That's what it's called. So just like we're training hard in the gym every day, you know, a lot of you guys are putting in the work, working on your physique. But how many times are you actually working on your mind, your mindset? This is what makes all this happen. It's the strength of your mind. So you have to learn new information if you're not getting the result that you want. So if you look at what you're doing and it's not working out the way you want it to work out, you're doing something wrong.
You have to reset your mind.
Yeah, you're doing something wrong. So, you know, like when we're young and naive, when things aren't working out, we tend to blame other people. It's that person's fault. They don't see it, stuff like that.
Sure.
Over time, as I matured and I've been doing this longer, I always take full responsibility for anything that doesn't work out my way. Because I feel like I approached the situation wrong or I did something wrong. Because something that I personally noticed with because I interact with a lot of people. I've met like thousands of people. How you show up in the interaction kind of sets the tone on where it's going. So people that have a sour, bitter attitude and they wonder like, oh, fuck everyone. You know, that's how they are. You know, they're so
absolutely.
negative. And of course other people aren't going to be warm and loving to you because your energy is so negative. Like people want to, like repels people.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to like focus your energy in a positive, loving way. That way when you're speaking with people, they actually want to receive you. They want to hear what you're saying.
You do that at the gym a lot.
I do, you know, because like the way I look at it is people are coming to me for some kind of information. Like they went out of their way to come up to a total stranger to ask them something. And that's not exactly easy to approach a total stranger. You know what I mean? So someone like myself, and I know like a lot of these younger guys, they were like me when I was their age, just trying to figure stuff out, trying to improve. But like when I was doing that back in the day, there was no one for me to go and like, hey, bro, how you doing? You know, whatever you're doing.
Right.
There was no one was ever taking the time to really invest into anyone else. But I was lucky to have a good father figure in my life and a couple other mentors that invested into me. You know, that wasn't in the gym, but it was outside of that. I find myself these days giving advice to young men stuff that I feel like their fathers should be telling them. But what I ended up realizing is a lot of them don't have a father, or their dad isn't doing it. So how are they going to ask the dad what to do? So I take that kind of stuff serious. I really do, because these are the future leaders, the future people that are going to be building up our community and doing stuff.
Yeah.
So why would I deprive them from valuable information that took me like a decade to figure out? That's how I look at it.
And that's one of the things that actually I was like, damn, this guy is a good, solid dude, because we were talking about it and we literally had that conversation. I go, damn, because that's the way I like to think of it too. You know what I mean? Like, especially when I started doing the whole podcasting thing, I had a lot of people hitting me up saying, hey, how do you do that? How do you start that up? And I told them, and I love to show people, you know what I mean? It's like, it's part of our community. It's and not only that, but it's also part of their creativity, right?
Yeah.
Like, people ask me like, well, what does this iCE stand for, right?
Yeah.
Because the people asking like, oh, that's a cool nickname, whatever, and there's a history with that, and I'm not going to bore you with that. But the iCE, I made it into an acronym, and it's something. It started to mean something years ago because I wanted it to mean something. So iCE means to inspire, to create, and to entertain. That's what I try to do with anything I do. In any projects in the community or whatever, I want to have people to get inspired, get to inspire themselves, and to inspire others, and to be creative, to create something.
Yeah.
And at the end, to entertain me, for me, the E is mostly for me.
Yeah.
And what we do as like right now is try to entertain.
It's true. It's just like, you know, if you're not able to captivate someone, it's hard for them to get the information. You know what I mean? Because they're not paying attention. Unfortunately, that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So like for someone like myself, it's like I'm drawing a lot of attention to myself, but I'm not going to use it just to be like, it's all about me.
Yeah.
It's more like, yeah, you notice this stuff, but if you want some of what I'm doing, I'm more than happy to show you the way. Like, this is what I've learned. So I never tell anyone like this is, you know, gospel or anything like that. This is just what I'm doing. So, you know, the way I look at it, and, you know, the way I learn information, because I read a lot of books, you don't just like copy every single thing someone else is doing. But what you do is you look up to certain kind of people that are like experts in different fields of what you're trying to do. You just take a little bit from what they're doing. You kind of make it into your own. That's how I operate.
Yeah.
You don't become like a clone of someone else. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because we even talked about it. Like, you have to figure out how to stand out from the masses.
If someone's already doing the thing you're trying to do, then it's too late to be that thing. You know what I mean? You have to do something that no one's doing yet.
Yeah.
It's hard, but a lot of the times someone will see someone else doing something and getting some success, and they'll be, oh, I better jump on that trend. Jump on the next trend. That's kind of how people will be thinking.
And speaking of what, I mean, there's a lot of alternative spreads out there.
Yeah.
But what I like about yours is yours actually tastes good, and it comes in a variety of different flavors.
Yeah.
At least. Someone gave me a sample of the toffee. I love the toffee. I think it's limited, or it's very. Is it seasonal? How does that work?
That was a flavor we did back in the day. The way that we've been kind of going lately is like we got 3 flavors right now: birthday cake, cinnamon roll, and cookies and cream. So all these flavors are low in sugar. It's only 3 to 4 grams of sugar per serving, and there's 77 grams of protein in a jar.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, and another thing too is like the reason that I started just like going with these particular flavors is I wanted all of them to be vegan. That way, like, people that are vegan can enjoy this. Like, I personally follow a vegan diet, so I wanted to promote stuff that I actually for sure use. You know what I mean? That tastes good, and other people won't be limited. They go like, oh, I'd love to try your thing, but I can't because X, Y, Z
we're like polar opposites, because I'm 100% vegan free.
Yeah, vegan free.
It's literally what I market the show. I used to market the show. You know what? 100%.
Like,
but it's health. It's a healthy alternative lifestyle.
Yeah, because like, you know what? Like, a lot of times they go like, oh, it's vegan. They're gonna think it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Most of the time. They eat it, and I just tell them that it happens to be vegan. You know what I mean? So not everything that tastes vegan.
Do you see the disdain or automatically in their face when you tell them that?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, because like I wasn't always vegan. I used to, you know, do the bodybuilding thing, so I was eating a lot of protein, a lot of like meat. You know what I mean? And I would see something else vegan, and I'm always open minded to try new stuff. Yeah. But I would eat it. I'm like, fuck, this tastes like dirt. You know, I'm just telling you how it is. I remember someone gave me, it was like a brownie or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm down to try this vegan brownie.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate it, and I really felt like I took a clump of dirt and stuck it into my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, fuck no, I'm not gonna be vegan. I can't. There's no way I can stick with this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But just like anything else, like even in like the bodybuilding community with all the supplements, things have come a long way. Everything tastes good now.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I first started, because I've been working out for like over a decade, the proteins and all the supplements tasted like shit.
Yeah.
I remember choking down those chalky protein shakes back in the day.
Some of them are like I don't even know. I'm like, are these? That's a protein?
Yeah, it's like a fucking milkshake.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's a good time, in my opinion. It's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to get into fitness because it's so much more accessible now. You can buy meal preps already made. We didn't have this kind of stuff back in the, all the information. This is like when I first got into fitness. It was before YouTube even. So you had to, I remember like searching up stuff on bodybuilding.com, like reading those articles. Yeah, and how to learn and like the magazines. That's what got me into it originally. So I was doing, like having to read. Now you can just watch a guy on YouTube tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. There's a lot more guidance these days, and there's obviously like some bad with that as well. But information is more accessible now. Fitness is more accessible now. It's actually cool to be fit now. It wasn't really cool back in the day.
Sure.
It was more like fringe almost.
Yeah. You speak of it's an interesting time. It's a good time to be alive.
Yeah.
It's going to get a little serious.
All right.
For you. Just because of what's going on. Well, we have today as we film, Johnny Depp is not guilty.
I saw that.
Or the jury found them.
Yeah.
No malicious. What was it?
He was awarded.
He was awarded
$15 million.
Yes.
In the defamation.
Defamation. That's he was vindicated for defamation of character, which is it's a good boost for solid dudes, but they're both crazy. Let's not just making apples and oranges. They're both little cuckoo. And then we had that mass shooting in Texas.
Yeah.
Our gas is almost $6 or $7. Someone saying $7.
Depending on where you're at.
Depending on where you're at. And then there's an ongoing war in Ukraine.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're getting at. Here's how I look at it.
How do you keep a positive attitude? You know what I'm saying?
Because that's what you realize if you study history. It's always fucking crazy. No matter what, there's always conflict. There's always tragedy. It comes down to your worldview of how you see it. So if you're seeing a bunch of negative shit, this is why I don't watch. This is exactly why I don't watch the news. Because all it does is frame your worldview to negativity. You think everyone's a fucking asshole. Everyone's a racist. Everyone's a bigot. Everyone's out to get you. That's how you think. I don't know anyone. Everyone that I know that was angry, they watch the news.
It's
straight
true.
up. So I just remove. I'm like, knowing this information, how's it helping me?
Yeah, exactly.
What am I gonna do about shit in Ukraine?
Yes.
Am I gonna go out there? No, I'm not. I'm just telling you how it is. Do I care for these people? Of course I do. But am I fighting that war? Do they care about my struggle? They don't, because everyone's worried about their own struggle. But what happens is the media will take it and they just use it to get your eyes glued on their screen so they can sell to advertisers.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. They don't care about you because there's a lot of positive shit that happens. Do you ever hear about it?
No, because it doesn't sell.
Because you know what? People like to get fucking angry. Obviously. It's something I noticed because I pop up at a lot of different events and I meet a lot of different kind of people, super conservative, super liberal, both sides, right? And you see it and you're like, everyone goes, both sides are so angry. And this is what I really realized at the end of the day, because, we really just want the best for our society. Both people do, and they see it slightly differently. But the reason that people are getting angry and protesting is because they feel, and so I noticed this when I was talking to particular people and just like their body language and stuff when there was different people speaking, is sometimes they just don't feel like they're being heard. So over time, when you feel like you're never being heard, it causes you to act out and kind of just get emotional, and that's when the yelling and the screaming and stuff like that happens. And then once that happens, a lot of times you get tuned out, unfortunately, even if you have a good point. So now that I'm aware that I try to make it a point to like hear people out, even if I don't agree with it.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's because you're the one that's very emotional about a particular subject, for example, who am I to go tell you that you're wrong? That's not my job. It's not. It's not my job. Like, I'm all about building a quality relationship with people, not tell people they're wrong and stupid.
Yeah.
How does that win anything?
Doesn't.
It doesn't, because once you can get past a person airing out the thing that's bothering them, now they're calm, and now you can actually connect with someone.
Yeah.
And when you really start talking to these people, it's like, dude, it's like you would definitely get along even if you disagree politically.
Yeah.
You
Are
know?
you on Twitter at all?
No, I'm not.
Good. Because that place is a fucking hive mind of fucking craziness.
I know. It's just like I said, because people, they you get sucked into the vortex. It's like a vortex.
It's
you know?
It's
So you see something
a lot of negativity.
that triggers you. So you're all, fuck. Then you're looking at it. You're seeing other people's comments. And you're like, he's so wrong or she's so wrong. And now you're participating in it. And your whole day is in this like vortex of negativity. So the problem is when you do that is you think everyone thinks like these people. So you start treating people in real life with that same negative outlook based off like a color they wear, you know what I mean, or like a song they like, or a team they like, or a certain
Or a flag they put up or whatever.
or a flag, even though you know nothing about this person, but because you've had so many negative experiences with someone that happens to like the same kind of thing as this other person, but they're on fucking Twitter being stupid, you just start thinking you literally just like lump everyone in that same category, and that's not really a way to really build quality relationships and make, you know.
I miss the interaction with people, man. COVID was so hard for me because
Yeah.
I'm a very sociable person.
Yeah.
And luckily I had a group of people that we were safe and we were still doing the podcast. But at the time I wanted to do there were some multiple projects that were happening on like everyone else.
Yeah.
And when everything shut down, it was so hard for me because I like to talk to people.
Yeah.
I like the face to face. You know, and that's
Same
why
here.
that's why I even switched my job, because my job that I had, I didn't like it because everybody was an email.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Everyone was a correspondence, right?
Yeah.
Now I interact with people. You know, I'm a recruiter now, and I I offer people jobs, employments, and trying to better their lives
Yeah.
with with certain things. So I'm actually talking to people all the time, and what I miss is talking, interacting with people face to face.
Yeah.
Over a screen or whatever. It's not the same.
It's really not, because you're missing out on so many things, body language, tone, stuff like that. And, you know, something I personally noticed, because I tend to advise a lot of people on just like social skills, because, you know, a lot of people, it's severely lacking in a lot of people.
And some of them have on the spectrum, so their social skills they're not that
and
great.
really what it comes down to, and it's like social skills, relationships, the kind of stuff that I give a lot of advice on for people, is these are the kind of things that nobody teaches you. You're taught math, science, history, you know, when you're going to school,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff, a lot of stuff that you don't think you're ever going to use. But you don't get taught stuff that you're going to use, like social skills, relationship building, the stuff that actually makes a difference in your life. So you're kind of left, and if you didn't have a good role model through your family, you're kind of left on your own to figure it out. So where do most people get advice for this kind of stuff these days?
Well, if you're not have a faith in a religion,
Yeah.
it's not that, or it's social media or the internet.
It's TikTok.
God,
And
that's another thing I don't like.
It's literally the worst place to take advice from. TikTok.
Okay, speaking of that, since you've triggered me now. Have you seen these TikTok videos where people are saying, like, if you manifest these numbers, they're like the
Yeah.
cheat codes of life or something like
Yeah,
that?
you know, see, here's the thing with TikTok, because it's short form information, right? And this is what I learned about YouTube as well, because when I got into reading books, like people will watch a YouTube to get advice, and then I'll go to the TikTok thing in a minute. But as I start reading more, and then I watch some of this YouTube content, I'm like, look, these guys are just saying what the book said. You're better off going to the source and getting it from the book. See, TikTok's even worse, because you have a guy interpreting what he saw in like a 10-minute YouTube video to a 1-minute TikTok. Some kid, you know, that just saying some shit, and for whatever reason, people just, certain things go viral, and then everyone takes it as gospel.
Yes.
So, you know, if you're, I'm sure people can relate to this. If they're like in a relationship, they're dating someone. Why is my partner acting weird? You know what I mean? Like,
Where you going?
they're doing something.
Who you with?
So here's, so
When you gonna be back?
I personally noticed this. I'm like, that was a weird behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some fucking TikTok. And I was like, fuck, you're doing TikToks. Terrible TikTok advice. I'm like, you know what this works on? A bunch of people that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
When you start acting that way around people that are like doing stuff, those kind of tactics that you see on like TikTok and manipulation, it's a bunch of manipulation at the end of the day. That kind of stuff is no way to live. Do you really want to be constantly trying to manipulate someone to get your way? No. I mean, personally, I don't. It's too much work, you know? So
It's draining.
it really is. So the real thing, what I personally noticed, is people are always looking for tactics instead of just fixing the main problem. You want to know who the main problem is or what the main problem is?
Gotta look inward.
It's like, I'm the problem, obviously. So if you keep getting a certain kind of result over and over again in your relationships, in your business, the success you're trying to do, you have to take a good look in the mirror and go like, I'm the problem.
And that's what a lot of the TikTok people, they don't like to take accountability and blame
No.
other things. And then it's
Blame other
another people. Victims.
But it's a victim mentality. So it's like for myself, I don't like anyone else having control over my happiness and my success.
You brought up a really good point that I actually want to bring up, because there was a whole thing years ago that started. It was this toxic masculinity.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had
heard about that all the time.
I had a huge issue with that.
Yeah, same here.
Because you started seeing companies, I'm not even going to mention them,
Yeah.
that had commercials that like the boys will be boys, and then
Yeah,
there was like,
yeah.
and there was a big attack on this like masculinity that like
Yeah.
you no longer could be a dude.
You know what it is, in my opinion? Because I thought about that. I'm like, you know, here's what I personally noticed. Because like I said, I've seen and met lots and lots of people, and I've had crazy interactions with different women at events in front of their dudes. So as you've seen some of the stuff.
Oh, I've seen it. It's wild.
This is what I personally noticed. You know, you hear toxic masculinity. In my opinion, a strong masculine leader doesn't act like that. That's a weak man. He's in his feminine energy, in my opinion. He's acting like he's just crying, and he's not. A woman doesn't feel safe and comfortable around a man like that. That's not masculine. That's a feminine man. He's totally emasculated. So I see it all the time because when I tell guys I'm trying to teach them social skills and how to better their relationships, I just tell them observe couples, look at couples and watch them, and I'm like, does that woman look like she's in love with her man? You see it all the time. Does she look like she? And like most of the time, no, she doesn't respect him. Because he's not a leader. He's not fucking strong. He's weak. So these days, a lot of men are weak because of everything is too easy. You know, like someone like myself, I'm constantly doing stuff that makes me uncomfortable. I call it being the main problem. It's called being too domesticated. So I was, I like to study nature, and you ever see that someone might have like a wild tiger, like a tiger as a pet? Then you hear the story that the tiger just like bit the owner's head off or something crazy.
Sure.
So the tiger was nice and calm and chill because everything was real easy. The food was being fed. It was an uncomfortable environment.
It's domesticated.
It was domesticated, but
That shit's still a tiger, baby.
the instinct is still there.
Yeah.
So I really feel like people, men, women, we're domesticated as well because we are so separated from where anything even comes from. We're separated from where things come from and where they go. You just like open up your door and everything's right there in front of you. There's no context on anything. So
You could get anything through your phone.
that's what I'm saying. So you're so separated from where everything goes. All the negative stuff, it's all tucked away and hidden. You don't see, death and destruction usually in your front yard. You know what I mean? You're just very, very separated and sheltered from everything. This kind of thing makes you weak. It dulls your instincts as a man. So I'm only speaking from a man's perspective, obviously. So what I personally know, this is why working out is so great. You're forcing yourself into an uncomfortable situation that fucking sucks. You know, everyone's like, oh, it sucks, you know, working out, until you look forward to it. But like when you're first getting into it, if you're out of shape, you're like, this sucks, I'm weak. I can't wait for this to be
Dude,
over.
I've quit so many times, you don't even know.
Yeah.
I've quit so many
It's
times.
because your mind is weak, not your body. Your mind is weak. But over time, if you stick with it and you keep, that's why I like hot yoga, the cryotherapy, all these like extreme things that I do. It allows me to, number one, be calm in just like regular situations. I'm like, fuck, if I can handle this extremeness, I can handle this, like, it's just chill, you know?
Sure.
But it also sharpens your instincts, so you can pay attention to the stuff around you more often, you know? That's what you want to do. You want to sharpen your instincts so you can get more stuff done. So you're not just like being blown with the wind, being told what to do, being a weak man. This is one of the reasons why maybe I get the results that I get and other guys don't. Is because with, you know, women, they are very, they can tell when they meet a guy. They're very in tune with that kind of stuff if that guy is who he presents himself to be. A lot of guys will build up the facade, all the exterior things, you know, they're fit, they're jacked, they got a nice car, but they're weak-minded. You know, like a woman can fucking run laps around him, just manipulate, twist them up, and they're almost laughing about it. You know what I mean? And it's just like those kind of things, like those exterior kind of things will get a woman's attention. She'll be like, oh, that guy looks interesting. Maybe I'll learn more. But since women are so bombarded with dudes fucking hitting on them through like Instagram,
Anything.
real life, it's like fucking dudes are so thirsty these days.
Well, I blame social media.
I do too. I mean, it's honestly, it's like, this is the problem. This is why I tell guys all the time. I'm like, you need to stop being thirsty and you need to start focusing on improving yourself. Because women will naturally gravitate towards the top guys in any kind of situation. It just is what it is. So if you're not that top guy, you're going to be trying so hard to convince someone to give you a chance, and odds are you're not going to get a chance.
Between me, you, and the shadow in the room, have you noticed that when? Because I've just started noticing that. This is not like a flex or anything.
Yeah.
But have you noticed when you have bettered yourself?
Yeah.
Physically and even financially.
Yeah.
And that you see, and you kind of show it off a little bit, and maybe you go to an event or something.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that people have like hit you up?
You know what? You get treated better. You do.
Because I've noticed that lately.
Yeah.
That people start recognizing who I am,
Yeah.
who I'm with. People been DMing me saying,
Yeah.
"Hey," and I go, "Dude, where?" It's like that. What is it, Mike Jones? Like back in the day, you didn't want me, and now I'm.
You know how I look at that? Because, you know, a lot of times if you're someone trying to come up and you're on your grind and you're like, oh, no one's supporting me, and you get fucking bitter about it. But then I thought about that, because I don't like having a bitter attitude about this kind of stuff.
Sure.
Here's the deal. What I notice, a lot of people talk, very few people take action. So it's like, why would anyone believe what you're going to say? Because so many people say they're doing big things. How many times have you heard someone say big things coming only for nothing to ever come? It happens all the time. Everyone's, you know, they see someone else doing something. They go, like, oh, that looks easy. I can fucking do it. And then they start something and it fizzles out a couple months later. Very few people can stick with something long term. So this is why people are kind of like skeptical when they see you. But here's what happens. Here's what I notice. They're watching you. People watch, and they're seeing what you're doing. And over time, they'll be like, okay, that dude's hustling. That guy's fucking getting after it. Respect. You know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to. Like, over time, you'll start earning people's respect because you stuck with it, and they're seeing that you're doing it. But here's what a lot of people do. You'll hear this stupid shit. Like, I hate this shit on Instagram. Bugatti's only got 2 seats on the bus, has like 50 for a reason. I'm like, yeah, look, do you really want to be fucking alone? No. That's not what it's about. If you have that attitude going in, you're literally going to push everyone else away from you. That's not what it's about. Because, like, people get mad that they meet someone new and they love them all of a sudden. They're like, hey, where were you? Why weren't you loving me 2 years ago? But you have to keep in mind that they didn't even know you 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So why are you getting mad? Why are you taking out that anger on them? See, this is someone that needs to do some internal work.
Internal work, yeah.
Because this person's trying to show you love, and you're like, fuck you. You didn't want me back then. I'm like, why would you not? This is what your hard work got you this. Now you're mad about getting it. It's so funny.
It's a weird way of thinking.
Like,
yeah.
I'm happy to get these opportunities. I'm like, fuck. All this hard work is paying off. I feel blessed. I'm not mad about it. You know, and someone like me, I've dealt with so much controversy, so much bullshit, so many times people kicking me out of places, not wanting me around. And I just stuck with it because I believed in what I was doing.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, why? Like, now you opened up another, like, what do you mean?
It's been like my 1 year anniversary from being banned from Gold's Gym.
Really?
Yeah, they like, I don't know, they just didn't like what I was doing, the yoga stuff that I was doing.
Really?
Yeah, and
Okay, why? For what reasons? Like, I'm sure they must have just kicked you out. They just said they must have been a progressive, like, hey, you need to knock this off, or what?
Well, here's what it is. Like, without going into like a whole thing, because we could literally do a whole podcast on it.
Sure.
But I was a member there when it first opened up. Like,
that was a huge deal.
It was a nice gym. It was like the nicest gym in town at the time.
At the time, yeah.
And it was only $10 a month. I'm like, what a bargain. So I'm like, for me, I don't even lift. I'm just like, I had a nice turf area that I can do my thing on. But you know how I am at the gym. I'll be talking to everybody.
Yeah.
People. And here's the thing. I'm not going out of my way bugging everyone. People are coming to me and I'm chatting them up.
Yeah.
So like, why would I not? What I really think is like the guy just didn't like me.
The owner or whatever.
The GM there.
Huh.
Because I was working out there doing my thing for about a year, and then all of a sudden what I was doing was a problem.
Do you think it was obviously an ego thing?
Well, I think like when you have to watch me, because like the way that it was set up is like all the desks were like looking at the turf area, and I think
that's so weird.
And I think if you're for whatever, I mean, here's the thing: like places like UFC, they see a lot of value in me being around, obviously, because of what I'm doing. But instead,
not only that, but there's a huge ass ring in that place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I wasn't harming anyone. I wasn't walking around the gym. See, they had a problem with me not wearing shoes on my yoga mat while I was doing yoga, which you don't wear shoes when you do yoga. And I wasn't like walking around the gym or anything because I get it. You know what I mean? If I'm walking around the gym barefoot, obviously that can be an issue.
Sure. I got good control. You see me work out. I'm not like, you don't, yeah, you stay in your little section.
In control. I can be like very in control in my little area. But, to me, it's honestly, like, I'm not mad about it. I actually think it's funny because Gold's Gym was like where legendary people came from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Back
Arnold, Lou Ferrigno,
all
everybody.
the fucking badasses trained at Gold's Gym.
Yeah.
Now it's a shell of its former self because they got greedy. With the money. I'm just telling you how it is. You don't gotta like this. They blocked me anyway, so they're probably not ever gonna hear this. But the reality is, they literally look at everyone as a dollar. Even like two people working out, because like when I put that out there, a lot of people were, coming out saying, "Oh yeah, they kicked me out because they thought I was training someone else was working out with my friend," a bunch of stuff like that. They just literally it got.
But what if you were training somebody? You couldn't train somebody there?
You're not. No, but I guess you're not allowed to do that kind of stuff because they want you to use their personal trainers. Like I said.
So they do have, if two people have two gym memberships and you can't just go work out with somebody and you just giving them pointers or whatever?
Well, see, apparently that's they don't like that because the way they look at it, if you're
losing money,
if you're a greedy corporation, you go like, that could be our trainer making money. And now they're getting it for free. So it's just the mindset. It's unfortunate what happens. They lost their way, in my opinion. I'm not mad about it. I'm just telling you how it is. And so I really think they just they try to capitalize on newbies. At the end of the day. Yeah. So bring them in at a cheap price, upselling them all the training and supplements, and keep people that are advanced away.
Dude, I wish I had more time. I would. On the red light,
yeah.
It's a longer show.
Yeah,
we'll keep you on.
You know me, I can I got so much stuff, and
yeah.
So,
but no, this was great, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it. It flowed. There was a lot of stuff we got into. Tell the people where they can find you, man.
At Patrick Shatter on Instagram. I got all the links on there if you want to subscribe to my OnlyFans.
There it is. Hey,
$49.99, and you can request content for a small fee.
Okay.
So I'll just put that out there.
So like if someone wants to watch you jerk it.
Well, I don't know about jerk it. Well,
come on, man. Look, give the people what they want. They want to see you jerking it.
I mean, I've done some nasty things with peanut butter, as you've seen on Instagram. But
He does. Oh,
I mean,
God.
here's the thing, like for the right
For the right
for
price.
the right price. Look, here's the reality.
Limited edition jerk off videos.
I'll
Hey,
sell you my sweaty gym shorts or something.
Yo,
you know? Yeah.
girls be farting in jars and selling that. That's it's crazy.
You know what? See, I'm just trying to make that 50K a month.
Hey,
on OnlyFans.
you know what? That's
Yeah, I'll tell you this much.
it's collab or something.
Here's what I know about everyone and people, myself. Everyone's got a price for something.
Yeah.
So talk to me.
All right, negotiate if you guys want to see some weird stuff.
If you want to, I've had some weird requests.
I
But,
wish I had more time. I don't want to keep you so long, but all right, dude.
All right.
It was good. Check him out on IG. We'll put it on the thing. Dude, thanks for being the first
For
guest,
sure,
man.
man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. All right, you guys, check it out. We'll post this up. Thank you again to Miss Allenette for using the Miss Allen Network Studios. So watch her. Speaking of hustling and grinding, this girl's been doing it for 10 plus years. How much? How long?
I started radio in 2004.
That's how old.
Legend.
She Hall of Famer.
That's awesome.
It's a Hall of Famer right there. All right, you guys, check him out, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.
Thanks, guys.